first book in the series. I told myself I was going to read it in January. I didn't. Most anticipated favourites or Gilded Cage. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first TBR video of the year. So this TBR is going to be for March and April. Yeah, March and April. I didn't do a TBR for February because I was switching around when I was going to do my TBR videos. So that's probably for the best because I've literally just been reading the Game Changers, Heated Rivalry books. So I didn't get around to much of my TBR that I set last time, and I'm definitely not getting around to a TBR in February either because I'm currently reading that. I think on my last TBR I left, I think it was Us Against You, Intermezzo, and there was another one. Oh no, I read Alchemy of Secrets. I think I only left these two books. Let's pick some more prompts, shall we? Oh, I don't have many left. I'm gonna pick 6, see where we are, maybe pick more. Below 350 pages looks like the only one that could possibly be below 350. No. Actually, because this has 3 books in it, so technically one of them could be below. The first book in His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman is about 320 something pages, so I can put that one on my TBR. So I'm going to leave this book on here because it's got 2 other books within the book. These are separate books on Goodreads, so I'm counting them as separate books, so technically that first book is under 350 pages. So we'll put Northern Lights in His Dark Materials as the first book on the TBR. Blue cover. We've got quite a few. So we've got Intermezzo, we've got Us Against You, and this one is a book that my mum recommended to me, and it is The List of Suspicious Things. I think that's black. Oh, and The God of the Woods is kind of blue as well. I'd say that's probably the least blue, so maybe not. Okay, the most blue out of all of these. This one isn't actually that blue, it's just got an outline of blue. Oh, I've got a bookmark in the bottom of here. And then this one is also very blue. Okay, I need to put Intermezzo back on my TBR. I need to get it done. I told myself I was going to read it in January. I didn't. We're now on the March and April TBR. If I do not get this finished in the first half of this year, it'll be 2 years this year that it's on my TBR if I don't get it finished in the first half of this year. So we need to get that off. So why am I putting it back? Put it on my TBR. First book in the series. I could have done that one for this one, but never mind. None of these are first book in the series. That's great. Oh no, this one is. The Courting of Bristol Keats. I'm pretty sure there's another one. I don't know if it's a duology. I think it might be a duology, but that's still a series, right? So this one is The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary A. Pearson, who is the same author as Dance of Thieves. I love Dance of Thieves. I haven't heard many reviews for this, and the reviews I have heard haven't been amazing, but I love Dance of Thieves so much that I feel like it has to be good, and the cover is so pretty. And I believe there's another one, so this should be the first book in a series. So I'm going to put this on the TBR. I don't actually know what it's about. I just realised I haven't told you what any of these are about. I do this every single time. So this one is His Dark Materials, which is a very famous book. I don't really know what it is. I think it's like is it a fantasy? Northern Lights introduces Lyra, an orphan who lives in a parallel universe in which science, theology, and magic are entwined. Lyra's search for a kidnapped friend uncovers a sinister plot involving stolen children and turns into a quest to understand a mysterious phenomenon called dust. Sally Rooney Intermezzo follows 2 brothers. I don't really know much more about it. It doesn't really sound like my thing, but I think we just follow both of their lives, and they are quite different people. Probably have some arguments between them or something. And then this one, it's to do with Faye. So Bristol Keats and her sister struggle to stay afloat in their small quiet town of Bowes Keep. When Bristol begins to receive letters from an aunt she's never heard of who promises to help, she discovers that everything she thought she knew about her family is a lie. Her father might even still be alive, kidnapped by terrifying creatures from another realm. Desperate to save her father, Bristol journeys to a land of gods, fae and monsters. There she makes a deadly bargain with the fae leader Tygan, but what she doesn't know is that he's the one who drove her parents to live a life on the run, and he is just as determined as she is to find her father, dead or alive. Sounds intriguing. Put that on the TBR. Favourite cover, I would have chosen this one, but out of these ones, this one's quite cool, but probably not my favourite. This one's also really pretty. Don't think the God of the Woods is. I much prefer the US edition of God of the Woods. Probably not that one. Maybe maybe that one. It's quite cool. This one's cool. I think it's between these two, The Favourites or Gilded Cage. I think it has to be The Favourites. I think that is such a cool cover. And again, I've had this on my TBR for so long, and I'm putting it off because I know I'll enjoy it and I want to read it at a time where I can enjoy it the most that I can. So maybe March will be that time. We'll put it on the TBR. I can't believe we're already talking about March. When I'm filming this, it's midway through Feb. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on the TBR. Out of comfort zone. I'd say that probably this one is my only one that is out of my comfort zone of the ones left. Because these two are series that I've already read. No, these 3 are series that I've already read. And then God of the Woods is just like a thriller kind of thing. And I think this one's just like a kind of like cozy mystery sort of thing. None of those are out my comfort zone, but I think this one, His Dark Materials, is. So I'll put the second one by His Dark Materials. What? The second one in His Dark Materials on the TBR, which is The Subtle Knife. We're reading 2, apparently, in March and April. Most anticipated. It's probably one that's part of a series because, you know, I've already started the series, so I'm anticipating how it's going to continue. Gilded Cage, the end of The Prison Healer, which is the first book in this series, was very intriguing and set up this book really well, so I am intrigued by this one, but I think it is between Us Against... Oh, this is The Winners, not Us Against You. I don't know why I kept saying Us Against You. This is The Winners, which is the last book. So because it's the last book, I am intrigued, but Crooked Kingdom is also the last book because Six of Crows is only a duology, and I think I'm more intrigued to read this one just because of how it ended up, and I need to know if one of our characters is safe and alive. So I'm going to go for this one, I think. Okay, so that's 6. We'll do 2 more. We'll go for 8. New author. Okay, so that one isn't. This one is. I could just put all 3 of His Dark Materials on there, but he won't be a new author by the 3rd one, so maybe that's not sticking to the prompt. I don't really know. But I think I'm going to choose between these 2. So this is Liz Moore, God of the Woods, and this one is Jenny Godfrey. I think I will probably go for the List of Suspicious Things just because my mum recommended it to me and I don't want to make her wait too long because, you know, end of April is 2.5 months away and she told me to read this like a month ago, so I should probably get on it in March and April. So I'm going to put this one on the TBR. Oh my god, I keep not telling you what things are about. The Favourites follow 2 ice figure skaters and they kind of have this really massive partnership and they're really famous, but something happens and their partnership kind of blows up and she comes out with a tell-all, I think, about what actually happened because there's so many theories that people are saying that are wrong. And then Crooked Kingdom follows on from Six of Crows, and Six of Crows follows 6 outcasts who join together to use all their different skills to perform a heist. And then this one is, I think it's like a cozy mystery sort of thing. It's based quite a long time ago. It says Maggie Thatcher's Prime Minister drain pipe jeans are in and Miv is convinced that her dad wants to move their family down south because of the murders. So there are murders, but I think it's more like a cozy mystery than a thriller. Leaving Yorkshire and her best friend Sharon simply isn't an option, so Miv and Sharon decide to make a list of all the suspicious people and things down their street. People they know, people they don't. But their search for the truth reveals more secrets in the neighbourhood, within their families and between each other than they ever thought possible. What if the real mystery Miv needs to solve is the one that lies much closer to home? It kind of reminds me a little bit of like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder when she's a college student, I think, and she decides to like solve the murder. And I have never found a book that's quite made me feel like that, so maybe this one will give me that. So I'm gonna pop this on the TBR, although I don't think this one's young adult. I think this one is an adult one. Okay, I think we've got one more book left. A black book. This is the only black book. This one is a little bit black, I think, but maybe not that black. This one's black in the background. And then this one, I'd say, is also black. This one's probably the most black, but I don't think I want to put another one of those books on there. Do I just put the other book on there and then leave this one? I think I may as well just put all 3 books of this one on there. So we'll put the 3rd and final book in His Dark Materials, which is the Amber Spyglass, on there as well. Alright, let's move these books down. I did kind of want to put The Winners in there, but it's fine. So, on the TBR, The Favourites by Lane Fargo, Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. Oh, This isn't going to be a very satisfying putting them in the TBR thing because they keep falling over. All of Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials. The Courting of Bristol Keats. The List of Suspicious Things. And Crooked Kingdom. 6 prompts left, so I'm going to need to refill this. That is my TBR for March and April. I'll let you know how I get on with it. Hopefully I'll stick to it more than I have recently. Hopefully I'll be done with the Game Changers series by then and I can actually stick to a TBR. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please let me know down below if you've read any of these books. Comment what you thought of them or comment what you're planning to read in the next few months. Subscribe down below and turn the bell on. You'll be notified when I post all my reviews about these, when I post my wrap up for March and April and how many of these books I actually got to. And if you want to, you can follow my social medias @libraryofeden on both TikTok and Instagram, which is always book related content, and I'll see you in my next video very soon.